Hello and welcome to another Doctor Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing another Doctor Who related video. It is just a video about my opinion on an episode, and basically it's not the most positive opinion. By the title you can guess that, i.e. I've called it Why I Hate Love and Monsters. Hate is a strong word, but for me at least, and majority of Whovians, I would strongly say that is probably the nicest way of putting our dislike of this episode, called Love and Monsters. Unfortunately, for those who do like the episode, there are people out there who like the episode, and so they've always got to constantly battle and defend this episode. But obviously, if you're on like my side and you agree with me that you don't like Love and Monsters, then it's okay. But obviously, if you do like it, then yeah, you're constantly hearing that Love and Monsters is crap or shit or whatnot, you know, and I can imagine it's very annoying. But for me, I do not like it, and I know many other people who don't. I mean, I'd say about a good solid 8 out of 10 of the fandom, out of 100% being all of the fandom, I'd say, yeah, 80% of the fandom don't like Love and Monsters. Or I'd even go as high as saying 90%. Sorry if you are one of the people who like Love and Monsters, but I just can't see what is redeeming about the episode, to be honest, at all, really. I mean, I haven't rewatched it for this video, thank God, because I'm not a masochist. I have some sort of redemption in myself and I don't want to destroy my soul by watching that garbage. Personally, I mean, here's the thing: there's only very few things that I think are redeeming about it. Like the Absorbaloff. Okay, it's by a kid who did a Blue Peter contest, but I think the basic premise of the monster is okay. It could have been way less cringeworthy and crappier if the BBC were just like, okay, well kid, we're going to take your design, but we're not going to listen to you in the fact that, you know, just because you personally want Peter Kay to play the monster or whatnot, we're not going to do that, because then it'll make the episode all the worse. And would you rather we listen to you and make the episode all the more worse, or would you rather us ignore you and make it even better, so that lots of people could, you know, kind of enjoy it more, you know? And I would like to think that the kid could hopefully be grown up enough and be like, yeah, actually, I agree with you, and they could have actually got someone who might have played the, you know, Absorbaloff a lot less cheesy and cringe-worthy. So, I mean, when Peter Kay plays it properly, quote-unquote, or quotation marks, tries playing it, yeah, properly, it just comes across really stupid, you know, and worse than when he's trying to be funny and that, or when he's being funny. When he's being funny, it's okay, but when he's being trying to be serious, it's way worse, especially with the fact that he's a comedian, so, you know, and it just, oh my god, it just butchers that monster all the more. It is really bad. Another thing that I can think that is good-ish about it is at least it's written by Russell T Davies, who can write a average and basic kind of story like this, with a lot of different characters, and make them not that complex, but still feel like we've gotten to know them, and that they're kind of developing characters throughout the story, and that. Because I think if Stephen Moffat had written this, it'd have just been like some weird timey-wimey crap, you know, because for him, he usually, rather than writing one character, he would rather write one character and make it more complex than a bunch of characters who would have little basic kind of character development. Because obviously we're introduced to this group / organisation thing called Linda. I didn't really care for any of those characters, but at least they'd have had basic character progression throughout the episode. But because I personally didn't like them, when the Absorbloff did absorb them, it was like, meh, so you've just absorbed Mr. Skinner. Oh no. So, and that weird Ursula woman. And the thing is, the title's called Love and Monsters. I don't know which is actually more disturbing, the monster or the actual love. Because by the end, the guy, I can't even remember his name, Eric? Is it Eric? Or something like that? I don't know. Something ridiculous like that. I'm just going to call him Eric, the main character. I really can't remember his name. The main guy, Elton, it was Eric. Elton and Ursula were like lovers at first sight. But then she gets absorbed, the Doctor does something with his sonic screwdriver, and then she can be part of the slab of the concrete, and so he takes the slab of concrete, and now they're lovers. And at least she's not absorbed into the Absorbloff, who then gets killed as well, you know? It's like, wow. Wow. This is a really terrible episode. And if you didn't already know, it's a Dr. Light episode, and if you don't know what that means, basically it means that the Doctor isn't in the episode really at all that much, or it's a light episode of that character. So, i.e., if anyone refers to a episode as something light, it means that that thing or person is only in it lightly, as in, only a little bit. Like, literally, the Doctor and Rose are in, the last 10-15 minutes, a smidge, in comparison to the whole episode, the whole 45-minute episode kind of thing. I don't know the running time. I mean, feels like a decade or a century, for goodness sake. It's that god-awful, personally. So, yeah, they're only in it right at the end, and it's like, yeah, and, I mean, at least, I say that Stephen Moffat wouldn't be able to have written an episode like this, but then he did a Doctor Light episode in Series 3, which was Blink, but had an immaculate, refined, amazing, absolutely phenomenal, scary monster that raised the bar of monsters on Doctor Who, and of course, I'm talking about the Weeping Angels. And the thing is, with Sally Sparrow, she was like way more refined, way more interesting. There was a mystery behind her, mysteriousness to her. She wasn't very simplistic and everything that we'd seen before. Very down to earth kind of character. She was, interested in spooky things and she had a weird edge to her. And that was the Dr. Light episode. And we see through Sally Sparrow's eyes in Blink, and mainly her best friend's kind of like brother, and literally the Doctor's only in it via DVD extras and in a little bit here and there really, and not really in it at all really, and that in that episode. But it worked so much better than Love and Monsters. I mean, at least the new series can take these chances and do different things, but I've always felt like when it does something too different and drastic to what Doctor Who's formula normally is, it feels like it's destined to go outside the boundaries and step into basically crap, and not avoid that crap on the front lawn and whatnot, or front garden. Depending on whether or not you're American or English, and that. But I just feel like Love and Monsters could have been better and more bearable if the Absorbloff wasn't played by Peter Kay and the characters were more likeable. I didn't find them likeable at all. The pacing was really slow. Oh god, it was so slow and boring in my opinion. It was, oh my god, it was just really crap. I mean, no offense, but if you're one of the people who does like the episode and you think that I'm really slamming on the episode, you should watch other Doctor Who YouTubers' probably opinions on the episode, and you would realise that I'm trying to, water my opinions down, my negative opinion of this episode down a lot. And yeah, a lot of people have very strong negative opinions on this episode, and again, I just feel all the more sorry for those the very small percentage of people who do like the episode, because they've just got to put up with negative opinions of an episode they, for whatever reason, like, and I'd love to like the episode, but I don't understand what is to like about it, really, and there's not much to like, and it don't add anything to the mythos of the show. Abzorbloff was meh as an enemy and cringeworthy and kind of crappy. I mean, he was meh on his own, but yeah, as I say, adding Peter Kay just made him worse. And the flirting with Elton and Jackie Tyler was just weird and cringeworthy and shouldn't have been in the show at all, or that episode. It's just weird. And we're supposed to be introduced to this character, so that felt, that the introduction of the characters was smooth and done well, but again, to be expected to really feel that same attachment to, say, Elton as I did at the time to Series 2 Rose, or Rose throughout Series 1 and 2, is bonkers. For the writer to even think that he could, write in a character and have the audience won over in one episode, compared to, his companion, or that he'd written for nearly two series now. If Russell T Davies was thinking that he could win us over, then he was definitely, drunk when he was thinking that. If he did think that. If he didn't, then that's alright. But, some writers, I can imagine, are very cocky and would think, if they'd written in a character in Doctor Who and it was a, Doctor Light episode and it was a kind of filler episode. That's another thing, it was a filler episode because it was slap bang, pretty much lead up after a brilliant, phenomenal two-parter, and just slap bang in between that and another episode, and then the two-part ending, and then the next episode was crap as well. So it was like we had an amazing two-parter, then two crap, terrible episodes. But I think that was maybe a ploy by the BBC/Doctor Who team. Maybe they thought, I know Russell T Davies was like in his office, I know how to make the finale all the better. Let's make it two really crap episodes before it. Then people's expectations will be so low about the finale that no matter what we give them, they'll like it. Ha ha! Huzzah! That's what he could have done. I'd like to think that he wouldn't have done that, but whether or not he did is another thing. But no, Fear Her is just, oh god, that's another crap episode. But yeah, Love and Monsters, just one of the worst, definitely one of the worst Russell T Davies era episodes. I wouldn't go so far to say the worst one out of New Who, but it is definitely around near the top. I mean, a lot of Series 6 I absolutely hate. Can't even pronounce it. Night Terrors, I was going to say Nightmare of Eden, but it's Night Terrors, Curse of the Black Spot, Closing Time. Those three are crap, and they're all in Series 6. Wedding of River Song, that's like 4 episodes right there off the bat, from Series 6 alone. So I think that it's the worst episode ever out of New Who, but it isn't. It's not even bearable for me personally. Usually if I'm doing a Doctor Who marathon, I will either, for whatever reason, force myself to watch it, or come to the conclusion that I just can't be bothered watching it and just skip it. So yeah, that's my opinion of Love and Monsters. Thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.